Well, good evening to all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, wanted to get on here and give my preview of AEW Dynasty 2025. That will be happening this upcoming Sunday. Got 10 matches. Don't know if they're going to add any more, but I want to play it safe and go ahead and get this preview out of the way. But fair warning, they may add more. But, of course, as usual, everything will be covered in the review, including whatever is missed. Okay. AEW Dynasty 2025 will take place this Sunday, April 6th, at the Liacouras Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is a very familiar venue to me. That's over Temple University territory. But that was also the venue where ROH Supercard of Honor took place last year. I went to that last year. So they're back in Philly for AEW Dynasty this year. So pretty neat. Pretty neat. Anyway, so got a handful of matches. We got 10 matches so far. We got a couple of Owen Hart Cup tournament matches. And we got a whole bunch of championship matches. Like, just a whole load of them. So, quite a lot to look forward to here. But let's go ahead and let's get started. Let me get my graphics up and let's get started with the preview. So first off, we're gonna start off with these Owen Hart Cup tournament matches. So there's gonna be 3 on the card. They might add more, I don't know, but right now they have 3 on the card. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, here we go. All right, first off, we got an Owen Hart men's tournament quarterfinal match. We got the Protostar, Kyle Fletcher, taking on the Sussex County Chicken, Mark Briscoe. I have to say, Mark Briscoe really hasn't been able to get back into the groove of things since losing the ROH World Championship. So it would be nice to see. I'm not saying that he's going to win this tournament, but it would be nice to see him at least get a little bit of momentum going. But, with Kyle Fletcher and him being part of the Don Callis family, it's going to be really hard for that to happen. I'll be rooting for Mark Briscoe, but I got a feeling that Kyle Fletcher will pick up the victory. So, yeah, I have to say Kyle Fletcher will probably win, but I will be rooting for Mark Briscoe. We'll definitely be rooting for Mark Briscoe. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're going to switch gears to the women. So the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinal match. And here we have Mercedes Mone versus Julia Hart. To be honest, this is kind of a simple one. I think Mercedes Mone will end up picking up this victory. It's cool to see Julia Hart get this opportunity, but I don't see her winning this. So got to give it to Mercedes. But hopefully they'll have a good match at least. All right. Let's go to our next match. Now this one should be a lot of fun. I think this will be intense and very action-packed. Check it out. Alrighty. back to the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament. We got the aerial assassin, Will Ospreay, going up against the Jet, Kevin Knight, and newest member of the AEW roster. Whew! Now, these two recently teamed up and picked up a victory together, so now they're facing off against each other. And I tell you, this is going to be quite the showcase. Quite the showcase of these two together. And like I said, big fan of Kevin Knight. I've met Kevin Knight twice, so I'm really happy that he's getting this opportunity to be on an AEW pay-per-view that quick, not too long after signing with AEW. So really cool. Very happy for him. Somebody that I've been following ever since he was a young lion. Got a chance to see him in Charlotte wrestle as a young lion. So I've been very high on Kevin Knight. But I don't see him beating Will Ospreay. I think he'll put on a fantastic match. I'm confident in that. But I don't think he'll beat Will Ospreay. So I'm going to say Will Ospreay picks up the victory. But I'm just looking forward to an excellent match between these two. It should be a lot of fun. Action-packed. I'm looking forward to it. Now, what I do want to do before we continue on, I do want to show both brackets. I do want to show both tournament brackets, just to give y'all an idea of how this is looking. So, first I'll show the women's. So this is the women's bracket. And as you can see, the matchup that we discussed just a moment ago was Julia Hart and Mercedes Mone. You have Harley Cameron versus Athena. You have Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. And you have Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks. Here's my thing. Here's what I don't understand. Why do they have the bracket set up like this for Athena and Mercedes to meet in the semis? Not the finals, but the semifinals. That makes no sense to me. Like, there's already been established buzz with these two being in the ring and confronting each other. And we're going to get the matchup in the semifinals. Because let's keep it real. Harley Cameron's not beating Athena. Julia Hart's not beating Mercedes Mone. Let's keep it real. Which would have these two meet in the semifinals. Why that early? Why the semis? This is really a match that should be for the finals, or just for a title or of some sort on a pay-per-view. That's the main issue that I have with how this bracket is set up, in all honesty. So, yeah. Not really a fan of how this bracket's set up. And personally, if it was up to me, if I were doing this, one, it would have more than just 8 competitors. And 2, I wouldn't have any champions in the tournament. Because I really think that this is a tournament that should have the non-champions in so that they can win and earn an opportunity. But that's just me. So that was the ladies. Now I'll show the bracket for the men. Alright, bracket for the men. So for the men, we already know we're going to get Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight at Dynasty. Brody King versus Konosuke Takeshita. That should be a lot of fun. We know we're getting Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher at Dynasty. And then we got Hangman Adam Page versus a wild card. Now, we still don't know who the wild card is yet, but, lately, AEW tournaments tend to have a wild card. So, not sure how this is going to go. Not sure how this is going to go. But the thing is, at least with this bracket, there are no champions in this bracket. You know what I mean? That's honestly the way it should be. That's the way it should be. But like I said, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, those are the tournament brackets for the Owen Hart Foundation Cup. Okay. So now that we got those out of the way, let's get into some championship matches for AEW Dynasty. So, let's see. Let's do this one first. All right, here we go. All right. We got the AEW TNT Championship on the line. As the champion, Daniel Garcia will defend against Adam Cole, baby. And the stipulation for this is no time limit and no outside interference. I believe this is the third match in the little series that these two have had against each other. Hey. I mean, does Adam Cole win this title? I mean, I think it's very possible. Do they pull the trigger? Honestly, I'm okay with either of these two winning, but I'm going to go with Adam Cole to become the new TNT champion. Might not happen, but I'm a root for him. I like Adam Cole. I've met Adam Cole, so yeah, I'll be rooting for Adam Cole, baby, to become the new TNT champion. But we'll see what happens. Alrighty, let's go with this next match. Alrighty, we have the ROH World Championship up for grabs in a title versus mask match. The champion, Chris Jericho, defending against Bandido. Bandido wins. He wins the title. But if Chris Jericho wins, not only does he retain the title, but Bandido has to remove his mask. He loses the mask. To be honest, I really believe that Bandido's going to win and become the new ROH World Champion. The only other thing that I could see happening is Bandido could end up winning by disqualification. I think that's a possibility as well. But I do see Bandido winning. It's just a matter of, does he legit win or does he win by disqualification? But because I honestly don't see him losing and him having to remove his mask. I don't see that. And we have to also remember, Bandido is a former ROH World Champion. So it's not like it would be out of the ordinary if he does win this title. He'll be a two-time champ. Just saying. And I am not against that. I've met Bandido before. I love Bandido. He's really, really awesome guy. But my money is on Bandido. But like I said, I think he'll either win legit or win by disqualification. Pretty much just so that he doesn't have to have his mask removed. Alrighty. Let's go to our next match. Here we go. Alrighty. We got the AEW World Trios Championships on the line. As the champions, the Death Riders of Wheeler Yuta, Pac, and Claudio Castagnoli. And they'll be defending the titles against Rated FTR. Of course, that's Cope, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. To be honest, I feel like this is kind of an easy pick. I'm picking the Death Riders to retain. I really just see Rated FTR just imploding after this loss and Dax Harwood just pretty much splitting from the group. I mean, I don't know if it's just going to be more so towards Cope or Cope and Cash, but I just don't see Rated FTR winning. I really don't. So I'm going to go with the Death Riders to retain. But should be interesting. Should be very interesting. Alrighty. Let's go to our next match. Here we go. Woof. The AEW Women's World Championship is on the line as the champion, Timeless Toni Storm, defends against Megasis Megan Bayne. I don't know, y'all. Megan Bayne has had the best of Toni Storm and over the rest of the competition since joining AEW. So, yeah, I don't know, y'all. She's been on a roll. She's been on a roll since joining AEW. Whew. They could go ahead and slap the title on her. I mean, I don't really think it would hurt Toni Storm if she lost. I mean, she's a 4-time AEW Women's Champion, so I mean, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. To be honest, I'll be okay if either wins, but, you know, right now, Megan Bayne's undefeated. Right now, they could ride that momentum to a championship victory. You know what? I'm going to stay neutral on this one. Because like I said, I love both ladies. You know, I've met Toni Storm. But I could definitely see this going either way. I think it could go either way. And I would not be against the idea of Megan Bayne winning this title. I would not be against that idea. I mean, she's been booked very strong. I mean, she's been undefeated. So, I mean, there's that. But, I mean, you know, she'll be going up against Toni Storm, you know, which that's not a walk in the park, so. But, yeah. But at the same time, I mean, Megan Bayne has definitely got some victories to really, you know, put her in this position. You know, especially considering she hadn't been pinned or submitted in Dynamite or, you know, just in AEW. So, I mean, hey, shoot. I mean, honestly, I could really see it going either way. I could see it going either way. So, should be good. Should be a really good match, though. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a really good match. Okay, let's continue on to our next match. Here we go. Alrighty, we got the AEW World Tag Team Championships on the line. As the champs, the Hurt Syndicate, made up of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they will defend against the Learning Tree, made up of Big Bill and the Bounty Hunter, or the Bad Apple, whichever you want to call him, Bryan Keith. Now, as somebody that is a big fan of Bryan Keith, I've met him multiple times. And while I do fathom the idea of him becoming a tag team champion or winning a championship in AEW, I don't think that's going to happen at Dynasty. I'm looking at the Hurt Syndicate to retain the tag titles. But hey, should be good. Should be really good. I do find it kind of interesting that MJF doesn't have a match, and considering, the segments that he's had with MVP and the Hurt Syndicate, not too sure if he might get involved somehow in this. I don't know, but just a thought. Just a thought. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's go to our next match. Now this should be very interesting. Alrighty, we have ourselves a triple threat, a three-way match for the AEW International Championship. As the champion, the Best Bout Machine, the Cleaner, Kenny Omega, will defend against both Ricochet and Speedball Mike Bailey. Oh, I can tell you right now, this match is going to be wild. This match is going to be excellent. I'm looking forward to it. Love all three of these guys. Speedball Mike Bailey has definitely had a great debut now that he is part of the AEW roster. I think this will be an action-packed match. But I do believe that Kenny Omega will retain the AEW International Championship. I think he does retain. But this should be an excellent match. Looking forward to it. Yeah, that's really all I can say. Okay. And then what I assume will be the main event of AEW Dynasty 2025. We have the AEW World Championship on the line. As the champion, Jon Moxley will defend against Swerve Strickland. This is Swerve's opportunity to become a two-time AEW World Champion. Now, also remember that Hangman Adam Page vowed that he would not let Swerve win that title back. And this is also the anniversary of when Swerve won this title in the first place, because I believe it was at Dynasty last year. Whew. Well, I'll be rooting for Swerve, but honestly, I think he'll come close, but I don't think he'll end up doing it. I hope I'm wrong. I'll be rooting for Swerve, but I don't think he ends up pulling it off. Not to mention, the more I think about it, even though I don't 100% agree with it, I can kind of understand if they do go with this move. I do think it may possibly be Darby Allin is the one that dethrones Jon Moxley and finally becomes AEW World Champion. I don't know when that will be, but I have a feeling that that's what they're pushing for. So, we'll see what happens. But right now, I'm going to say Jon Moxley retains. I think Swerve will come very close, but I don't think he'll be successful. So I'm going to go Jon Moxley for the victory. So, but card looks great. Card looks pretty dang on great. So, should be a good show. Hopefully it'll be a good show. But yeah. But yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. So this weekend, we got New Japan's Sakura Genesis tomorrow. AEW Dynasty on Sunday. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So, got quite a bit to look forward to there. And also, another thing I wanted to mention, man, this year, 2025, really seems like the year for retirements. I feel like more and more are piling up, y'all. I mean, we know we got Hiroshi Tanahashi, which technically he'll retire in 2026 because, his last match will be at Wrestle Kingdom 20. But we know Hiroshi Tanahashi is going to be retiring after this year. Same thing with John Cena. I mean, upcoming, this will be John Cena's final WrestleMania. Let's see. Meiko Satomura will be retiring near the end of this month of April. The 27th is her final match. Nanae Takahashi will be retiring in May. Hikari Shimizu just recently retired. Had her last match via Colors. Tae Honma recently announced that she's going to be retiring. I believe it was in October she's going to retire. Yoshiki Hasegawa, a.k.a. Yappy, recently announced she will be retiring, I believe, in July. She retires in July. Homicide just recently had his last match, and now he's retired. Why do I feel like I'm missing names? I've got to be missing names. I know I'm missing names. But, yeah, a lot of folks retiring. I don't know if this is officially a retirement or whatnot, but Sari Namba is resigning as TJPW ring announcer. And she's pretty much switching careers because she's going to be moving to Canada, I guess, to be a Japanese language teacher. I mean, I'm not saying that it's out of the picture that, she can't come back and ring announce elsewhere, but, I mean, her leaving TJPW is a humongous deal. Because realistically, Sari Namba can't really be replaced. So, come June, I don't know what the heck they're going to do or who they're going to have to try to replace Sari Namba as TJPW ring announcer, but it's not going to feel the same. It's not going to feel the same. Let's see. Oh, either Tam Nakano or Saya Kamatani technically, will retire after April 27th. But then again, let's keep it real, y'all. That's another thing to think about. We got to remember the last two Loser Leave Stardom stipulation type matches haven't been honored. I mean, Unagi Sayaka's getting ready to wrestle in Stardom again. Tam Nakano lost to Saya Kamatani in a Loser Leave Stardom match, and she's still been competing in Stardom. So honestly, there's no telling even if these loser retire match at All-Star Grand Queendom, if that stipulation will even be honored. Either that or Sayaka Kurara uses the wish to nullify it. But let's keep it real. The last two Loser Leave Stardom type matches, those stipulations weren't honored. So let's just keep that in mind. I'm just saying, keep that in mind. But yeah, the main thing I mentioned all this because, I was talking about the retirement talk. But I mean, yeah, it's been a lot of announced retirements. So it's been crazy. It's been really crazy. So, and unfortunately, I feel like that there's probably going to be more to come, but I don't know. But anyway, that'll do it for this video. Let me know what y'all's predictions are for AEW Dynasty 2025. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and also my Risa Sarah prominent shirt that I got in Japan. Actually, purchased this from her merch stand when I met her after the prominent show, the last show I went to in Japan before I came back to the States. And she was really awesome to meet. If you ever get a chance to meet Risa Sarah, take it. She is actually very sweet, very kind. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. For another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Peace. Later.